capacity. So diving now into our first channel of the integration channel. So this is the 3457, which is the channel of power, and it is the design of an archetype. So splitting that up, gate 34 is the gate of power, and it's power of the great. And it's a sacral gate. And the 57, it is the gate of the gentle and intuitive insight, and it's a splenic gate. And the archetype of this channel is, what is it to be an individuated being? And it empowers our intuitive capacity to survive through response, keeping us alive by alerting us to danger.
And alertness becomes a crazy aspect of this channel, just as much as it would be with the actual gate of alertness, 44 going over to 26. And this alertness is so shockingly fast that this term, the gentle, is a little bit deceiving, because it's penetrating intuitive insight. It penetrates into the future, into the, into in front of you where you can't see. It penetrates onto the other side of the wall a few inches type thing. You know what I mean? Just that which is beyond what our senses would normally see. This is our intuition. We all know about it. And this archetype, there's so many possibilities for archetype in the beginning. I remember everyone was so like, what is this archetype? The archetype of what? And it really was just as simple as the individual being that survives as itself in everything from absolute danger to boring conversations it needs to get out of, or not give its opinion on, or whatever, is the thing. And so this individual nature ends up being the backbone, because it's such a responsive thing that survives the love of the rest of the vessel. Without the love, the vessel dies. Without the power, the love can't thrive, right? Without the integration, nothing happens right now. Not enough happens right now, shall I say. Not with enough power anyways. Not enough power is displayed right now. And so you put those things together, if you take any of it away, it's a disaster for how we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because like the 34 is like pure sacral power. Like 34 is a powerhouse, especially like I obviously don't have it as a projector. When I feel that, like it is an intense powerhouse of energy. So it's like this powerhouse of energy with penetrating insight for survival. Like
Absolutely. Put those two things together and you've got survival right now. You've got survival right now, and that power is rambunctious. It's first line. The foundation of it is called the bully. That power is supposed to bully things out of the way, into place, move the thing. It's supposed to exert great energy, sacral sustaining energy, and it's so potent that it breaks free of its sacral mandate. The sacral mandate is to make more. Sacral is the testicles and the ovaries, right? So it is about reproduction. Not 34. 34 is so powerful, it breaks free of that. It's like, oh no, I'm not in that vortex. What do you mean you're part of us? Well, yeah, but apparently I'm over here.
Yeah, it's like too busy to be sexual.
It's too something, right. So it's asexual in its nature. Yeah. Right now.
Yeah.
Everything about it right now. The only other thing I can think of is this. I love these two centers together because they have the same theme right now. One is a response outside of awareness, but it's perfect, so it's obviously aware in its own way. And the other is the awareness without the response. And when you put them together, this is the place where the spleen, the spleen is able to speak through the diaphragm of the sacral in a response. This is always going to be a pure generator. So everything splenic speaks at the power of the response. So truth is both an intuitive splenic awareness with power, and both of them are right now. They don't even need gate 20 to be now. So it's just powerful that way. That's the archetype.
That's interesting because like the spleen is a very in the moment right now kind of thing. So it almost defaults to being in the now because the spleen is so in the now, and the 34 is just like pure power.
And the sacral is the most talkative thing other than our throat. Sacral is the next, or actually sacral and spleen would share that, because if you're a splenic being, right, that's still very talkative to the throat. Mm-hmm. So you put these two things together and And whatever spleen says becomes a response, and the response speaks. It does speak. It doesn't quite speak in words, but those grunts and groans have absolute language behind all of it. If someone gets someone in the middle of the moment and it's like, oh, what was that sound for? Oh, yeah, that. No, I'm frustrated with this thing, and I'm trying. They have a whole story about what that one little sound was. And the rest of us can understand that. Oh, yeah, that sounded like that. Yeah, it sounds like that a little bit. Because, right? So what is that intuition? It doesn't have words to it. There's no manual to say, oh, this is that and that's this. It's in the moment, aware, in love with yourself right now, and able to express that. And that brings us to communion. Gate 20 is actually where the communion, 20 and 10 is where the communion interfaces. It's not the 34 and the 57.
Well, we'll get to the 20 and the 10 coming up, but
oh yeah, we got to move along. We'll just spend all our time here.
All right. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Danny, for this. Thank you to our audience. And thank you for everyone watching live, everyone watching on the replay. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. I love it. It makes me really, really happy, and it helps us a lot. We're still a wee witty bitty baby channel, but we're building it. So we're happy to have you here with us. So thank you for hanging out.
Thank you very much, everyone.